That's a metronome. It starts to get annoying after a while. And then it becomes your very best friend. So, let's talk about playing with a metronome. Okay? Metronome is just that thing that goes click, 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 click. And you can adjust how fast or slow it goes. Now I'm going to turn that off for a second. Okay. You can adjust how fast or slow it goes. And then you use it to practice. So you practice along with the metronome so that what you're playing stays in time. Okay, so if we take just the very simple, the 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise, where we're playing with fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4, notes on frets 1, 2, 3, and 4, on each string, then go to the next string, then go to the next string, then go to the next string. So, let's do that with the metronome, okay? And all we're going to do is quarter notes. Okay, so quarter notes are 1 beat long. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's do that with a metronome. I just wanted to make sure that that was all good and that everything was in frame. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy, right? Then we can go backwards. And I realized I didn't count that in for you, so sorry about that. Okay, so I have the metronome set at 100 beats per minute. So that's in 1 minute, 60 seconds, it clicks 100 times. So now we play quarter notes. We can jump this up to 200 beats per minute and play twice as fast. But we could also play eighth notes. So eighth notes are half of a beat long. So now we're going to count it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So the number is on the click, and the and in the middle is between the clicks. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So we're still counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. See how that was still the same speed, the numbers, but now we're playing the notes half as long, half of a beat. So if it's half as long, then you're playing twice as fast. I know that sounds a little confusing, but trust me. It's for real. Okay, so let's do the 1, 2, 3, 4 in eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Kind of fast, but that's alright. You can work on it. So going backwards, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you could of course slow the metronome down. Okay, and all I did was just go online and type in a search for online metronome and pops up. There's tons of them. So now we're at 90 beats per minute. So it's a little slower. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. See what I mean? Okay, so let's try that. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's go backwards. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Easy. Okay. So the sort of trick with a metronome, one of the kind of weird things about a metronome is you'll find a speed that works well for you, that you can play along with easily. Then if you get faster and faster, it's harder and harder to keep up. But also, if you go slower and slower, it gets more and more difficult to keep up also. So it's kind of weird how that works. Okay, so I'll show you what actually, you know what, I'll explain why first. Okay? When you have a middle tempo, a middle number of beats per minute, like 80 or 100 or 120, somewhere around there, is about in the middle-ish. You can play along because it's not too fast, it's not too slow, it's just right. You know, like the Three Bears with the porridge. So you could play, and it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and it's a nice tempo for you. They're not so close together that the notes are really fast and hard to play that fast. The problem with them getting the clicks getting further apart is there's more room to sort of make a mistake. Okay? So you sort of think of it like if you're trying to cross a river and there's rocks. Okay? If the rocks are spaced just perfectly, you just walk across. Easy. If the rocks are really close together, now you have to go and it can be a little tricky. You might trip. If the rocks are too far apart, you now have to jump and really stretch to get to the next rock, and you might miss. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So let's try the metronome really slow. So it's set to 40. See what I mean? Okay, so if we do that, now we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, see, that was hard. Okay, but there's a trick that you can play with a really slow metronome. So let me stop that for a second. Okay, so remember how I said if the rocks are really close, it's hard to go across. If they're really far apart, it's hard to go across. But if they're just right, okay? So, I have the metronome set at 40, okay? 40 beats per minute. If we count in our heads, instead of 1, 2, 3, if we count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now we just put the rocks that are far apart, we just put a rock in between each one and made it just perfect to walk across that river. Okay? So let's try that and you'll see how much easier it is. So we'll still do the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... See? Much easier. If we even go further and count more in between, we could count 1 E and 2 E and 3. I'm going too fast. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and so that may be even easier. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense too. We can also obviously strum along to a metronome. Oh, wait, I don't want to be at 40. It's too slow. So 114. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. See? So you can take any song that you know and play with a metronome that way. Okay, so let's play This Old Man, excuse me, with the metronome. Okay, so we have to remember that some of the notes, okay, a lot of the notes are quarter notes. Some of the notes are half notes, so they last for 2 beats. Some of the notes are eighth notes, so they last for half of a beat. Okay, so I'm going to play through it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, and then we'll try it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, easy, right? So if you want to pause the video and practice it once or twice, then that's fine. And if not, if you think you're ready to go, then let's go. So, This Old Man. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy. So that is how you can practice to a metronome, and it's an important thing. You should definitely be practicing with a metronome. Everybody should be. And once you get the hang of it, it's really quite easy. And it can be kind of fun. You can try to speed up the metronome. So we were at 114. Let's try 152. So, oops, missed the last note. Sorry. Let's try faster. Let's try, what's this at? 186. You know what? Let's go to 200. 200. So, I'll try that. You ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was fast. And what ended up happening is I didn't pick all the notes because it just went by too fast and I missed picking them. So what I did was pluck the 0. In this case, it's the 0 on the E string. Excuse me. 0, 1, 3. I plucked the 0, slammed a finger down on the 1st fret on that string, and a finger down on the 3rd fret on that string. And I did it there too. So pluck, and then just slam a finger down, and then so that was fast. 200 was pretty fast. But anyway, so that's working with a metronome. So you should be working with a metronome a lot. It should be part of your weekly practice routine. You don't have to do it nonstop all the time, but you should be doing it like you practice something, whatever, and then you say, okay, now I'm going to practice with a metronome. Get a metronome going and play along.